It's day 19 of the West Asia war. Overnight, the Iranian regime confirmed a significant loss. Their security chief Ali Larijani is dead. Yesterday, Israel claimed to have killed him. Overnight, Iran confirmed his death. And Larijani was a very important figure. You could call him the de facto leader of Iran. Yet, his death did not trigger a meltdown. It triggered an escalation. Iran has launched what they're calling revenge attacks on Israeli cities. They used cluster bombs in these latest airstrikes. Now, as the name suggests, these are not single projectiles. They explode into multiple bomblets or clusters. Take a look. These bomblets targeted Tel Aviv. Some of them destroyed cars and buildings in central Israel. And just to be clear, cluster bombs are banned in international law. Yet Iran is firing them at Israel. These smaller bomblets cause wider damage to enemy locations. They can also exhaust air defense systems. Of course, nobody seems to care about international law anymore. Recently, the US sold cluster munitions to Ukraine, and now Iran is using them against Israel. It's basically no holds barred. Reports say Iran and Hezbollah are coordinating their response. The Hezbollah is firing around 100 rockets per day. These rockets are reaching Israel around the same time as Iran's missiles. The idea is to overwhelm the air defenses. And Israel knows this. They're expanding their operations in Lebanon. On the ground, Israeli soldiers and tanks are pushing on. They're taking over parts of southern Lebanon. And in the air, the bombing continues. Israel hit a building in the heart of Beirut, that too without any warning or evacuation orders. The Lebanon campaign is proving to be brutal. More than 900 people have been killed so far. Among them, 111 are children. Israel is asking people in southern Lebanon to evacuate. Their end goal is to create a buffer zone. Over in the Gulf, more interceptions were reported today. Iran fired 13 ballistic missiles at the UAE. Qatar, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia also reported missiles and drones. The Iraqi city of Erbil also reported drone hits. On the other side, the strikes on Iran are widening. We are seeing a new set of targets being hit. Gas and oil facilities, top regime leaders, and even nuclear sites. A projectile struck the vicinity of Iran's Bushehr nuclear plant. No damage or casualties have been reported, but the strike itself is worrying. Bushehr is located along the Gulf coast. It is operated by Russian officials using Russian uranium. If this becomes a pattern, it is a cause of worry. Same with the energy strikes. Iran claims the US and Israel hit a giant energy facility in the Gulf. It is called South Pars. It's the largest natural gas field in the world. Both Iran and Qatar share this facility. They produce around 730 million cubic meters of gas, which is why this strike is worrying. So far, Israel and the US had not hit Iran's major energy sites. The idea was to keep oil prices in check, energy prices in check. If that policy has changed, it means two things. One, the US and Israel are escalating. And two, energy prices will rise further. Of course, Iran is threatening to hit back. They have promised to strike Gulf refineries in the coming hours. In fact, they have issued specific evacuation orders. Samref refinery in Saudi Arabia, Jubail Jubail Petrochemical Complex, also in Saudi, Al Hosn gas field in the UAE, Masaid Petrochemical Complex in Qatar, and Ras Laffan refinery, also in Qatar. Iran says all 5 of these facilities will soon be hit, and this is a dilemma for Donald Trump. He does not want a bigger energy crisis. He wants to give the impression of a limited operation. Basically, he wants it both ways.
We have to put out this cancer. It's a cancer. We had to take that operation, and we did, and it was very successful. And it continues. Frankly, as somebody said, they could leave today, and it would take 10 years to rebuild the damage that's been done. But we're not ready to leave yet. But we'll be leaving in the near future. We'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future. But right now, they've been decimated from every standpoint. And again, we've had great support from countries in the Middle East, great support.
The messaging is all over the place. Trump says Iran's military has been decimated. He says it will take them 10 years to rebuild from the damage. He also says he will wrap up the war soon. Then why the escalation? Why target regime leaders, nuclear sites and gas fields? That part is not clear yet. Trump has set vague but ambitious objectives for this war, but he wants to sell it as a minor operation. Like I said, he wants it both ways. Meanwhile, his own intelligence is undercutting his claims. Trump says Iran was rebuilding its nuclear program, but today his intelligence chief, Tulsi Gabbard, briefed the US Congress. In her written testimony, she has said the very opposite. Tulsi Gabbard's report said that Iran did not try to rebuild its enrichment capabilities. That was the written submission. But in her oral address, she omitted that part. Listen to this.
Even in your printed testimony today on page 6, and your last paragraph on page 6, as a result of Operation Midnight Hammer, Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated. There's been no efforts to try to rebuild their enrichment capability. You omitted that paragraph from your oral opening. Was that because the president had said there was an imminent threat 2 weeks?
No, sir. I recognize that the time was running long, and I skipped through some of the portions.
So you chose to take
my oral delivered remarks.
You chose to omit the parts that can contradict the president.
This puts Trump in a difficult spot. The public is against the war. The intelligence is against the war. So the ball is now in the president's court. Does he want to keep climbing the escalation ladder, or does he want an off-ramp?
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, First Post America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is First Post America.